Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, Commissioner, and good morning, Mr. Mayor. And in fact, actually, I wanted to ask about keeping passengers safe on the public transport system in relation to crime as well. And just picking up on what Assemblymember Wilson was just saying there, you referred to an increase in the number of CCTV cameras, Mr. Mayor. I think we've now got 77,000. It's a very large number. Do you think there is an increase in crime that we know about because we are detecting more?
Well, as I was going to say, I'm sorry, Sir Wilson, we're out of time. One crime is one crime too many. We want, our site generally to be a zero crime environment. So yes, some of this is, we've encouraged more people to report crime. There were previously victims of crime who weren't reporting it. That's too easy an explanation, though. And so, yes, that explains some of the figures going up. We have seen a...
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Commissioner, and good morning, Mr. Mayor. I want to ask about keeping passengers safe on public transport, especially regarding crime. You mentioned an increase in CCTV cameras. Around 77,000 now. Do you think the rise in reported crime means more incidents are actually happening? Or are we simply detecting more through better surveillance?
Country, a big increase in crime. Public transport isn't excluded from the increase across crime. CCTV camera is a really useful deterrent, but also helps us catch the bad people. And the Commissioner referred to the anniversary of the awful terror attack on the 7th of July. We know the role CCTV played in terms of some of the evidence we gathered afterwards and so forth. And we also have other crimes where perpetrators have been caught because of CCTV. So we are seeing more reporting. We are seeing more detection as well. I mean, the Commissioner will have to hand examples of action taken on penalty notices, on enforcements, on criminal charges being brought. Great partnership between the Met Police Service, which Transport Police, London Police, and TfL. If members have not had a chance yet, I'd encourage them to go to the control room. Police officers actually working side by side with TfL staff because we take this incredibly seriously.
I think that's really good to hear. I wondered if you could actually specifically, though...
The Mayor responds firmly. One crime is one too many. London's goal is to create a zero-crime environment. He acknowledges that more people are now encouraged to report incidents, which explains part of the increase. But he adds that crime has risen nationally, and public transport hasn't been immune. CCTV acts both as a deterrent and as a critical investigative tool, capturing evidence that has solved countless cases.
There has been an increase in the number of hate crimes reported. Again, some would argue that that's actually a good thing because people feel able to come forward. Could you update us a little bit on the work of the Transport Hate Crime Task Force, which I think you set up in 2018?
Because I make an observation, which is not trying to, not trying to spare the Commissioner's blushes, but the fact that he was able to say just a few moments ago he spent a lot of time with the Jewish community, I think speaks volumes for the change in TfL in terms. I'm not criticising previous commissioners, but just the way we view our diverse communities and being more cognizant of the hate they face because of their faith. They belong to their ethnicity and so forth. So what TfL did is recognise there are often crimes that have been reported. There are often victims of crime that we may not know about. Go into the community and say, what more can we do? And it also applies to women and girls, who breaks my heart.
The Mayor recalls the vital role CCTV played in the aftermath of the July 7th terror attacks, proof of how essential technology is for both prevention and justice. He praises the cooperation between the Metropolitan Police, British Transport Police, City of London Police, and TfL staff. Officers and staff now work side by side in control rooms across the capital, taking the safety of passengers incredibly seriously.
You anticipate my very next question.
Well, just sort of realising as a man what a woman goes through when they use public transport compared to what I use on a busy tube and so forth. So they're doing a huge amount of work in terms of hub, in terms of the task force, in terms of raising awareness to try and get under a bit more. Simple things they've been piloting, first of a kind, CCTV at bus stops. No one's done that before. Things like asking for audits and the experience of women when they're using public transport. And we hope that'll lead to a better public transport service being provided. And Commissioner can talk to some of the pioneering stuff we're doing in London.
Do you think we're doing enough, Commissioner, to encourage people to come forward and understand that if they report these things, it's going to help TfL to tackle them better?
So I think we've done a lot over the last couple of years to raise awareness. As the Mayor has already said, we know that there's a huge perception and reality, particularly women and girls.
The Assembly member presses further. Reports of hate crime are rising. While some argue that's a positive sign of confidence in reporting, she asks for an update on the Transport Hate Crime Task Force launched in 2018. She also notes progress under the new commissioner, particularly his outreach with London's Jewish community, showing TfL's growing awareness of how faith and ethnicity shape people's experiences of hate and discrimination.
Are uncomfortable using the public transport network, and we need to do all we can to give them the confidence that it is a safe place. And actually, Claire Mann, our COO, is really passionate about us using the roundel as a haven of safety, particularly at night, particularly when people might be out alone. And we're working really hard across the organisation with our policing colleagues. We've had great support from Lucy Dorsey, who's the Chief Constable of the British Transport Police, and also Mark Rowley and his team to work together on this. And we know it makes a huge difference. I think the fact we have raised awareness is part of the reason why we're seeing statistics go up, because we are seeing lower level crimes being reported that previously weren't. We're also seeing staff reporting issues against them that previously weren't. The introduction of body-worn video across our operational front line is having a huge impact. It is reducing the risk of people threatening our staff, and it's also increasing the number.
The Mayor responds emotionally. It breaks his heart to realize that women experience public transport so differently from men. He speaks about the work being done: community outreach, awareness campaigns, and the creation of safe hub projects. TfL has even piloted the world's first CCTV-enabled bus stops and launched surveys to understand the real experiences of women and girls in London's transport system.
People who are being successfully prosecuted by the police, and that is really important. It's completely unacceptable that anybody, staff member or customer, is subjected to any form of crime, be that physical, hate, abuse, whatever it may be. Overall, our crime rate is low, but we need to do more. We're not complacent about it. And I would encourage anybody who's subject to an incident to report it. Things like roll out of 4G and 5G across the tube network will be a significant benefit for people being able to report issues in real time that previously have been unable to do so. We're really focused on this, and as the Mayor said, we have a huge programme of work around reducing violence against girls, a huge programme around improving revenue protection. And I'm very happy to talk about graffiti as well.
I'm sure we'll be coming back to these issues of reducing crime on public transport, but for now, thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
The Commissioner builds on that. Over the past few years, TfL has made major progress raising awareness and improving safety. Women and girls, he says, deserve confidence that the network is safe. TfL's Chief Operating Officer wants the iconic roundel, that familiar red and blue symbol, to be seen as a haven of safety, especially at night. Collaboration with police leaders like Lucy Dorsey and Mark Rowley is key to this effort. The Commissioner explains that the rise in statistics reflects better awareness and reporting. Even staff are now speaking up more often when they face abuse. The rollout of body-worn cameras across the front line has reduced threats and increased successful prosecutions. TfL is also expanding 4G and 5G across the underground, allowing real-time reporting, a game-changer for passenger safety. He concludes by emphasizing that while overall crime rates on public transport remain low, there's still much more to do. TfL continues major programs against violence toward women and girls, as well as initiatives to protect revenue and combat graffiti. The Assembly thanks the Mayor and Commissioner. This conversation on making London's transport network safer for everyone is far from over.